Okay, so this is review. So we're going to review, first of all, types of angles. So we have different types of angles. We have acute angles, obtuse angles, right angles, and we also have straight angles, but we're going to be working with acute, obtuse, and right. So let's review first of all what they are. An acute angle is going to be less than 90 degrees. Obtuse is going to be greater than 90 degrees. A right angle is exactly 90 degrees. And then I didn't include on here, but you also have straight angles. And those are 180 degrees. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to review how to draw an angle using a protractor. And then you're going to identify it as acute, obtuse, or right. Okay, so actually we're not going to draw it. That's in our next video. We're going to actually measure it. So some of you will be able to look at this and identify whether it's acute, obtuse, or right because of the way that it looks. But we'll go ahead and do the measuring first. So we're going to take this. We're going to line up the center here. That part has to fall in the center or our vertex of our angle. So we're going to go ahead and line those up. We're also going to make sure that this bottom line that you can see kind of as a dashed line on here is cutting through our bottom angle. And we can see that it is. If we need to, we can kind of shrink this up a little bit and I'll reline up here. So that you can see that my arrow is also pointing over here. Okay, so now I can see that if it's pointing to the outside, I want to use the 0. So those are on the outside edge, not always the outside. Sometimes we use the inside numbers. And we're going to see where it crosses on the outside numbers. So it's crossing here. So it's approximately either 70 or 110. We want the outside number. So this is a 110 degree angle, approximately. Okay, so a 110 degree angle would be considered obtuse. I'm actually going to shrink this down so it's easier. Well, I want it big enough that you can read it, but easier for us to see where it's cutting through. Okay, so let's try another one. Okay, first step, we're going to line up the middle circle on the vertex or where the two lines intersect. We're also going to make sure that our bottom line is cutting through this bottom line here. So this line right here is lined up on there. That's the most common made mistake. We're pointing to the 0, so here's our 0. We're going to use inside numbers. And the nice thing is both of those numbers, whether inside or outside, are 90 degrees. So we have a 90 degree angle that is considered a right angle. All right, let's go ahead and try one more. Okay, so our first step is to line up the center of our protractor on our vertex or the center of our angle. Then we need to make sure that our bottom line is lined up on our bottom line of our angle. Okay, mine keeps jumping just slightly. There, it's lined up. And then we're going to identify which set of numbers we're going to use. So it looks to me like my arrow is pointing outside here to the 0. So we have to use outside numbers. Looks like here it's cutting through 70 degrees because it's 110 or 70 and we're using the outside number. So that's 70 degrees. Type of angle, acute, obtuse, or right. That would be acute little angle. Okay, so that's working with using a protractor to measure angles.